I don't want to see my entire floor. My room's a mess today.
Yeah, someday I'll unpack all these boxes.
I know you will.
Someday.
There's stuff on the floor. I don't care.
Come on. It's supposed to be live.
It's in my face. Fuck it. You can't see everything.
Ugh. There it is.
That's how I feel at work.
Say words, guys.
Say words?
Microsoft Word?
There it is.
The best word.
Say words, guys.
What if I go higher?
I'm trying to, what the fuck? Why?
I was trying not to block my face too much with the mic.
There it is. I have to activate fucking cameraman.
Cameraman.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Cameraman.
Does whatever a cameraman can do.
I guess. This nameplate is totally blocking my face. Is it my face being blocked completely?
It is.
Just your mouth. Come down a little bit.
Oh, I don't want to show my floor.
So what? Stop being so. Yeah.
Hey man, my office is a wreck. So
is my living room. I ain't gonna front.
Worse than that.
There's a pair of pants behind me.
Yeah,
that's black pants, or it could be a shirt. Nobody knows.
There, it's better.
Nobody knows. The world knows. As Keith fixes his camera.
There we go.
On that note, let's start this podcast. I actually want to get done quickly before 10 o'clock. That's the plan.
That's never going to happen.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge thrown down. Challenge accepted. Ladies and gentlemen. Hello, friends. Welcome to episode number 35 of the Xbox Xperience podcast here on the Outerhaven YouTube. I'm Clinton Bowman. I'm joined by Keith Mitchell and Aaron Sanders, Mr. Frame Rates Matter, and Mechanicism themselves. Hello, boys. How are we doing?
Hey.
Can I be honest?
Don't be honest. We don't have that much time.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll just be sarcastic. I'm doing great. Fantastic.
I wouldn't call that sarcastic necessarily. I just call that outright lying.
Where do I start?
Let me guess. F Champ being a jackass, because that's the best way to start this podcast, where people don't really respect PC gaming still, and it really hurts.
Fuck him. Fuck Filipino Champ. I don't care about his dumbass.
So this morning, I was perusing Twitter before going to work, and I saw something from Outerhaven. David Philip Graham.
I respect Outerhaven.
Outerhaven stated that there is a 7.3 gig patch for Marvel Infinite that came out to fix a couple things. So obviously, F Champ and his fraudulent ass basically stated on Twitter, and this is actually pretty hilarious. Let me actively pull that up. Did I put that in Gaming Talk? I believe I put that in Gaming Talk this morning. Yes, I did. 8 gigs just for one bug. They should focus on console. Releasing in the game on PC actually hurts them overall. And Ultra David say trying to play ranked on PC is like looking for water in the desert. Okay. I have to cut open the cacti and drink the sparse bad connections with.
Okay, stop. So when you sent that message, I was at Wawa getting my coffee on my way to work, and I saw that, and I was like, Clinton, please send me the link.
And I did.
And then I went in there, and I was like, I wrote a couple of things. I didn't say all of it because I figured that would be a little salty on my part. But I did say, maybe because consumers on a PC side know better than to buy, Capcom's fake-ass game. When you fuck over the consumer, you wonder why nobody's buying the game. And then to Ultra David, I was replying back and saying, well, you notice that maybe PC gamers aren't as dumb as console gamers. I was being very sarcastic, and they don't put up with the crap. And I was going to reply back and say, if you look at Tekken 7, it's doing great on the PC right now. Wonder why that is.
And even then, I mean, Kazu Harada stated that Tekken on consoles itself has already moved 2 million copies. Now, keep in mind, Tekken came out when? In June? And it's already moved out 2 million copies. Now, compare that to Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition. which has barely moved 1.6 million in 2 years.
This is when I wish that Steam would actually come out with the figures and say, hey, this is how much we've done, instead of having people just try and estimate.
Guesstimate?
Yeah, I mean, the sites that do it, we don't know how close they are or how far off they are. We have no idea.
I think the big issue with Valve is the lack of transparency, and Valve does have an issue with that. And I've called Valve out on this multiple times, where there is no transparency when it comes to their numbers at all. We know how well certain things do. We know how successful Steam sales tend to be, but in terms of raw numbers, they're not very transparent, and that's a big issue. Aaron, what do you believe?
What, in terms of the way Valve handles that?
Yes.
I sort of see an argument for and against that. I mean, obviously, it would be nice to really have that kind of data and whatnot. But I mean, if things aren't going your way and Valve's out there publishing your numbers, you're probably going to get kind of pissed off if you're a publisher, developer. So I guess there's kind of a line they got to walk there. But I would agree that would be helpful information to have as a consumer.
But getting back to Marvel vs. Capcom, the game is in shambles. It hasn't done very well, even on the consoles. People just don't want to deal with that crap. And I see where he's coming from, and I don't see where he's coming from. He's saying it because he's, oh my God, I'm smitten. This is a great game. But the rest of the community is like, the fuck is this game? What are you talking about?
No, I agree with that.
Half the fighting game community is looking at Capcom Infinite and like, what is this game? And laughing at it. I mean, go on Shuriken.com, go on EventHubs.com. Like, what the hell is this game? What's going on here? And then you got him like, oh, this is the best game ever. No.
And that's my big issue. I mean, that's not the original story that we were going to be talking about, or the original topic that we're going to be talking about. It kind of like plays into it a little bit because there is that divide in consumers. Now, let's talk a little bit about the main topic: negative PC stigmas. Now, there's a lot of stigmas in the PC towards the PC community, stating where, why would I have to build my computer and risk all this kind of different stuff? I mean, tournament organizers have this issues. I've talked with Keats on several different occasions about doing tournaments on PC, because there's multiple games on PC, and it's a lot easier to handle because PCs can take almost any input that they give them.
No, they can take every input.
It's a little iffy, and this, Keith. It is a little iffy for certain inputs.
You can get around everything on the PC.
I mean, look at Street Fighter V. I mean, shit, you had to do a workaround just to get your fight sticks to work.
Well, that's because Capcom didn't want to support legacy stuff. That's their fault. I mean, if a game like Skullgirls can do it, there's no excuse for Capcom.
Right. So we look at Street Fighter, and we're looking at all that kind of different kinds of games on PC, and PC is obviously the common and the easiest to operate. You don't necessarily have to update it all the time. Updates happen very frequently, as long as you keep it attached to a LAN network, a WAN network, and update them as frequently as possible. But at the same time,
you mean to tell me that Steam will update and GOG will update and Uplay will update and every other system or platform will update your game? You don't have to do it manually?
Is that unheard of?
I thought that was the thing on a PC. I thought you had to go get updates and get driver updates and then pray that your stuff didn't break.
And things do update, man. Things do update manually. I'm not going to front with you. Things definitely do update manually, right? So we're looking at things updating manually on the thing. And I think even on the Xbox One, to be fair, on the Xbox One, things update manually as well.
Everything updates manually now. Everything
updates. No, actually, not manually. Things update automatically, except on the PS4. PS4, you still have to manually install updates and stuff like that. The Xbox One, on the other hand, unless it's like a system update, your games update almost automatically.
I don't have a PS4, but I thought the deal was if you paid for whatever the network thing was, then you could have the automatic updates. Is that a thing?
And even then, you still have to initiate the installation.
Okay, yeah.
With Xbox One, I think it's only with the updates. For your games, you have to. For your games, it can automatically update whether you're playing another game or whether you're in sleep mode.
I remember. So, I don't know if it's still a thing, but I do remember with the PlayStation, you had to go and tell it to stay on the network and to update your stuff. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but we can find out.
Indeed. So when we look at that and really sit down there as I get 2 review codes for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on the Switch, what the hell? I don't know how. Shouts out to Bandai Namco. I love you guys.
I don't.
And I think it's actually, and like two of them. Wow. Okay, I mean, Carl gave me his copy already, so
you can give it back now.
Or you know, just do giveaways because people love giveaways.
Let's get away. We're doing Xbox. Never mind. Listen to that fake ass laugh.
Oh shit! No, that's a genuine ass laugh. I'm sorry.
No,
oh, shit.
That's a Titus laugh. Stop it.
shut up. Anyways, no, but I don't understand the stigmas on PC. Man, this is just me personally because I used to have those stigmas for PC. I was like, why am I going to get a PC? Console is the easiest thing to do. And this is coming from somebody that exclusively played on consoles. I think the only time I really played on PC was back in the day with Commander Keen. Commander Keen.
God. Love that game.
Commander Keen, Raptor, Call of the Shadows.
Now you're dating yourself.
Raptor, Call of the Shadows, things like Jill of the Jungle and Zargon and Cosmos, Cosmic Adventures, Blake Stone, Doom, Wolfenstein.
Let's not talk of those days. Let's not talk about those days, the days of Dawson.
Yes.
This is all the Apogee shareware is what you're going through.
Having co-processing.
If it was legitimate, like I said, if it's Apogee, I played it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's Apogee, I played it. So we're looking at that, right? Or Epic Games. Remember Epic?
Epic.
Remember those?
Epic making games. Mm.
So if it was one of those games, I was playing on PC, and that's because my mom bought a PC, and I managed to discover, DOS games, and I'm like, oh my god, DOS games, this is great.
So you were playing Leisure Suit Larry, right?
No, but I did play Halloween Harry. That was a good game.
No.
I enjoy Halloween Harry, but at the same time, that was the only thing because my mom bought a PC back in early 2000, and that was the only computer I had for a long time. I was stuck on dial-up until about 2008.
A lot of people were on dial-up for the longest time.
Yes, I was stuck on dial-up in 2008. That's how I downloaded most of my games and porn. But
he hasn't played Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah, I believe that.
I really haven't. I'm gonna be honest. It's like I haven't played Leisure Suit Larry.
They re-released the first one. They did a whole update.
Oh yeah, I remember the re-release. I never got it.
It was terrible.
Yeah, so
I mean, it was Leisure Suit Larry. So
again, I moved exclusively to consoles because consoles was very easy to get. I can for example, when I went to college, I got a GameCube used, I got a PS2 used, I got a Nintendo 64 used. So I really just got consoles, more so than not. Now, someone who's actually actively, shouts out to Keith and shouts out to Aaron and shouts out to Outerhaven, invested in upgrading and maintaining PC architecture and stuff like that. I play more games on PC than I play on consoles. And I don't understand the stigma. I get it now. I get why PC gaming is so big. And this is just me. Just talking
we just need for some promoter to let the PC be used for a tournament. Just one. We just need one.
I mean, and you know who would be that? I'll probably end up being Microsoft at the very least for their esports stuff.
No, it can't be Microsoft. It has to.
It would be Microsoft. It would be people like Riot Games, like Blizzard uses PCs for their stuff. Definitely because their games are mostly exclusively on PC.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't have a choice.
I mean, Microsoft has a choice of whether Xbox One or PC, and like sometimes they technically run their Gears tournaments off of PCs, from what I understood. Sometimes, depending on what they want to do, you look at the Microsoft store in the city with Keith. We should have went to when we was down for Comic-Con. That's where we should have went to instead of Nintendo New York.
Good job for reminding me, but that was on a Saturday. It probably wouldn't have happened.
No, we could always still. I think they probably still had an event. Maybe next time when you come down to New York, we'll go there.
Living in the city, you have to survive. You just made that song pop in my head. Thanks.
Yeah. So going to the Microsoft store, they have PCs. They have the Xbox Ones. There's a big old mixer. The mixer NYC studio is huge and everything like that. So they have the options. Now for the fighting game community, we definitely need somebody to start using a tournament organizer. Start using PCs, maybe laptops to do that. And I was shocked. And what upsets me is that I'm 100% shocked that Big E hasn't started using it because he would be the primary one to really do that.
Well, you got to think about that. A lot of the games that he plays outside of the Street Fighter, Marvel 3 is on the PC, but I don't think most of those games like
Marvel Infinite's on PC. Marvel Infinite's on PC.
I don't recognize that game. Stop.
Marvel Infinite's on PC. Street Fighter 5 is on PC. Rev 2 is on PC. Guilty Gear.
Yeah, it is.
Blaze Blue's on PC. Dragon Ball Fighters is coming to PC. Dragon Ball Fighters is coming to PC. Blaze Blue's coming to PC.
If there's a Persona Fighter,
if there's a Persona Fighter, right? If there's a Persona Fighter coming, it's going to be on PC now. Like we're starting to see, like Melty Blood is largely on PC. Dude, the Melty Blood community is PC.
We're gonna have to wait and see if anybody does it. I mean, again, it's those negative stigmas, like, oh, the PC's gonna crash the second you start playing.
Yeah, and even then, and that's still a statement in the regular conversation too. Aaron, we haven't got a lot of a chance to talk tonight. You know, how do you feel about the PC stigmas?
I mean, the fighting stuff, that's kind of outside of my realm. I'm not into the fighting scene, but PC stigmas in general, I feel like they got started a long time ago and just have stuck around. Like we're talking about stuff from years and years ago when they either were more unstable or PC gaming for a while wasn't great. They got terrible ports, if any. These days we still see some bad ports, but we're seeing a lot better stuff hit it. We're seeing a lot more stuff in general hit it. We talked about that a couple of podcasts ago. But it's, like these stigmas are just things that have been hanging around for forever. Oh, it crashes. Oh, I can't sit at it. When I used to when I worked at an electronics boutique in a mall, people would tell me, I can't sit at my computer and look at that tiny screen and play a game. That's no longer the case. I don't have tiny screens.
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't have tiny screens on my PC, and also you can stream out to your TV a lot of the time too, depending on what you're doing. So,
can I be honest with you, Aaron? I mean, even looking at that, dude, 19 inches was not tiny back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
No, I'm talking about them screens was huge. 19 inches for a computer monitor was not tiny back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably huge. That was considered pretty goddamn big. You know, until the flat panel started coming out, you started seeing like 21, 22, 24, 27s. Now you're seeing like a 32. You're seeing a 32-inch 4K monitor from Dell that can split into 4 different screens.
Yeah,
that's
the argument about the tiny screens is from like 2000, 2001. Like that's how old that is. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, people still have that mindset. Like, oh no, playing on a PC is not comfortable. It's you don't have a big screen. Yeah, you do. These days you do. So.
I mean, you know, I was having a conversation with Matt Paul, host of the War on Infinite Panels, as well as War on Infinite Panels, as well as the A1 podcast. And he basically said, I mean, bro, if you're playing on console, you're pretty much paying on a gimped ass PC. You know, if anything. So you ain't got no goddamn excuse not to get a PC and invest in the PC architecture, especially if there's a lot of games that are on the PC that perform better than on consoles. You know, like let's be honest.
I'm not going to say that.
If Forza 7 operated better on PC, I played more on PC. You know, if Gran Turismo was on PC, and it operated really well, I played on PC. Like, I'm not going to sit there in front and lie about that. There's games on PC. Dude, I actually chose to get Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on PC as opposed to getting it on console. Why? 1, it was cheap. 2, it looked way better on PC and it performed smoother on PC.
Yeah, but see, I can't co-sign with that completely because
nobody can. I mean, that's not something that's going to be a super definite kind of thing.
Right. You can look at it. I mean, you're saying everything runs better on a PC, then you'll always have this person, well, I got a PC from 2005 that can't run shit. Well, yeah, you got a point.
Well, at the same time, that's your dumbass fault for having a PC from freaking like 12 years ago.
That's not realistic. That is not realistic.
12 years ago, though? That you can't update? Hold that shit. I'm sorry.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised.
I mean, realistically, I mean, with the prices of computers going down, unless you don't have a job and you're on freaking Social Security or some shit, I mean, that's probably one of the only ways I could personally understand that. But other than that, like, I'm sorry, like, dude, you have opportunities to upgrade your PC on the cheap now. Like, come on, son, take the opportunities while they're there. Even if you can't play it at like 4K resolutions with VR capabilities and $30 million like worth of computer equipment, like, that's fine. You know, as long as you can play the game at a decent clip at 60 frames a second and stuff like that. You know, that's just how I see it.
Now, if you don't want to build a PC, but you really want that ultimate gaming experience, that's where the One X comes in, right? That's what we've been talking about.
I mean, you know that, but that's what it ties in. That's what it ties in.
Yeah.
Hey, no, to be fair, Aaron does have a point, Keith. I mean, he does have a point. Keith ain't saying shit.
I don't want to be contradicting.
It could be contradicting.
You're not being contradictory if you're saying there is a point to be made, but here is the counterpoint. That's not contradictory.
No.
Okay. What about the games that I can't play on my Xbox One X that I could play on the PC, and vice versa?
That's a perfectly valid argument. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of games on the PC that you cannot get on the Xbox platform.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of doesn't really hold a lot of weight.
Yeah,
but it also depends on what type of games you play too. You got to keep that in mind, Keith. Like it really depends on the genre of games and the type of games that you play. So, for example, if like someone like me back in the day who really only played sports games more so than anything else, and I wanted to see it like I didn't want to invest in a PC, but I wanted to get somewhat close. Yeah, I get an Xbox One X. That would be me. You know,
why would you get an Xbox One X? You can just get Xbox One S.
I mean, if I wanted to play like somewhere close to PC with the 4K and all that fun googly moogly stuff, and it's like I didn't know what I knew. I didn't know what I knew. No, and that's what I'm saying. And I didn't know what I knew. Then yeah, I'll probably get an Xbox One X. That's what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's contradictory. I would get the Xbox One X for the 4K, but if I can't afford this shit, why would I buy the Xbox One X?
No. See, you misinterpreted my statement. I said if I don't want to pay to build the PC.
Yeah, if you don't want to mess with actually putting together a rig.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what you
misinterpreted. That's what the One X
is
for. Yeah,
you misinterpreted what I said, my friend.
That's still a lot of money.
I mean, $500 is compared to about 1,000 plus.
Negative. You would not a game PC for 1,000. Where you going to Alienware?
I buy power.
So you need those.
You're going to the wrong people.
You need dual 1080 Ti's, you know. So that's.
I said 1,000. I ain't saying 10,000 or 2,000. I said 1,000. You know that's what you're getting those PC, getting those game PCs for $1,000, $800, $900, $1,000. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? That's just
a lot of ducats.
But people spend those ducats. I'm just saying.
Those people need to come see me.
I mean, they need to come see me too, but I'm just saying, you know, I ain't trying to pimp out my services. All I'm saying is people will pay $1,000. Dude, I've had people talk about like I want to pay $1,000 for the computer. Dude, I built a friend's computer for $1,800. All right, for like I got $300 out of it. I built him a $1,500 computer.
A $15 computer? How much?
A $1,500 computer. I built him. I think I built him better. I put better specs in his computer than I put in mine. You know, like I was running an AMD FX 8320 at the time, and I put an i5, I put a 970 in his computer, a 980 in his computer, and everything.
980. Dear God.
Yeah, I put a 980 in his computer and everything. I mean, shoot, I wish I put that shit in my computer. You know, like I feel like a dumbass for it, but I'm just saying a lot of people would get the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro if they don't want to spend that money on the PC, and that is a thing. And that is the thing.
Pro to anybody.
But you see, that's the thing. But that's the thing. Knowing what we know, we wouldn't actively do that. You know what I'm saying? But what if you will have no real interest in like the PC architecture? Yeah, that's the thing.
Then I wouldn't play anything. Then I wouldn't be playing anything. Then
but that's you, Keith. You take yourself out of it for a minute.
I'm just being a smart ass in general because they're all PC architecture.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, they are all x86, but you know, being very serious, Aaron. You know, PS4 Pro, Xbox One X. If you had the choice and you didn't want to build a PC, that would be your 4K option. That would be your high fidelity gaming option. In the case,
I guess Steam Box.
No,
those
don't
are a thing, right?
You know,
they were a thing.
Get the fuck out.
Like a
leave.
Go that way.
But in the real seriousness, though, like you know, negative PC stigmas, I think they have to stop, and that's just me. I think they have to end. I think it just needs to go away.
And you think people need to read a book or online? I don't know, something. Read something.
I think you guys were right earlier. You just
stop talking like you don't know what you're talking about.
Like motherfucker, you listen. You got the internet, bro. The internet exists. Okay, use it.
Capcom is using money by making games for the PC. FYI, Tart, they're probably making more money because they didn't leave it on one platform.
I'm gonna say it again.
The whole point, yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. The internet. Use it for what the fuck it was built for, you dumbasses.
You know, if you get as good as PC, understanding PCs as you are in fighting games, you're in good shape.
Dude, fuck it. You know what's funny? I understand playing games. I understand PCs a whole lot more. And speaking of PCs and 4K and all that fun stuff, Microsoft has a little bit of an idea in their head concerning the Xbox One X. Now they're going and they're doing marketing with Samsung right now because they believe the Xbox One X will sell 4K TVs. And there's a lot of 4K television makers that are buying in to this.
All in?
They're all in. They're all in, man. They're all in on the Xbox One X and the 4K TV stuff. So check out MCV, the business of video games. There is in the UK, there is an article where they were talking with Albert Pinello of Xbox, the marketing, so global marketing, told MCV that TV manufacturers were very keen on the Xbox One X, saying that there is a mutual benefit. They need the content to drive uptake, so they're asking us how they can demo Xbox One X on their TVs, and they want to sell those TVs. So new TV technology and new content for those TVs has a chicken and egg debate, and with 4K at the core, when the Xbox One X wants to achieve, its take-up is undoubtedly related to the uptake of 4K TVs, and it's arguably a two-way relationship that does benefit both market and not simply a problem for 4K console. So Pinello also states that it's been an interesting marketing challenge, and they do have momentum on their side, which does help. So the majority of TVs that will be sold this year are 4K TVs. This is more than likely going to be a fact come Black Friday. There are all kinds of analysis reports. By the way, the previous statement that I made was not quoted. That was just the way I'm projecting it personally.
It totally sounded quoted. Just saying.
Huh?
It sounded quoted.
I know. That's why I have to specify that. There are all kinds of analyst reports. This is Pinello talking at this point. And within the next few years, everything will be 4K. So it is coming in terms of retail of displays. Now, granted, Microsoft is working with Samsung on marketing and retail, as there is a marketing of their QLED TVs along with the Xbox One X showcasing Forza Motorsport 7. Now, the same could have been said of the PlayStation 4 Pro, but the thing about the PlayStation 4 Pro, when it released, 4K televisions were still kind of rare at that point, and Sony has only really been using its brand-specific HDR 4K logo for the PS4 Pro, but that's about it. They haven't really been working on selling TVs. They've been working on selling their 4K console. Now, I want to go to Aaron on this one.
All right.
Do you believe that Microsoft is on the ball with this, or do you believe that 4K TVs will still be a hard sell for most people?
No, I mean, I think you were right. Come Black Friday, I mean, I see deals every day for 4K TVs going for like $300-400. I think 4K is going to have a pretty quick adoption rate, and yeah, I think Microsoft's making a good play there.
Keith?
I was going to try, and here's that word again, contradict you, because they actually did this last year with the Xbox One S, because that does 4K media playback. So it's not the first time they've done this. Black Friday last year,
that's not contradicting, Keith. That's actually adding on to the statement.
No, because you're saying with the Xbox One S and adoption rate. I'm saying they've already done this with the Xbox One S.
No, I was saying the Xbox One. I was quoting them, what they said about the Xbox One.
Okay, yeah, this is not the first time that Samsung and Microsoft have done this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not saying it's the first time. I said they're actively doing the marketing with the QLED.
I actually think it won't really help 4K. And the reason why I'm saying this is we're past the point now where people just want any 4K. We're at the point now where people are fighting over standards, which is the HDR 10 and the Dolby. What is Dolby's?
The Atmos thing?
Yeah, Dolby has their own 4K.
Oh, really?
Yeah. God, what is it called again?
You're going to find out.
Dolby Vision. So
Dolby Vision? Okay.
Dolby Vision is actually a higher quality of 4K because of the way the HDR is the high dynamic range. With the HDR 10, it's a lower quality with the HDR, but with the Dolby Vision, it's a very higher quality. So it's like comparing a Ferrari to a Corvette.
Obviously, the Corvette is the more mass-produced one, and the Ferrari is more for the enthusiasts and the people with money.
But see, here's the thing, though. So, OLEDs and everything, they're starting to become more and more commonplace. And while they're still expensive, people that have been looking to 4K are like, I really want this one because it has all these features. That's not to say that 4K TVs won't be sold. It's just that people are more informed now. Like when this was happening last year, they were throwing around all these formats, and people were like, oh, just give me a 4K TV.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're more informed. They're like, hey, you know, Xbox One supports this, this, and this. PlayStation 4 Pro supports this, this, and this. I got $2,000 of budget. Which one do I want? If you're just going to the store and you want a 4K TV, you don't care about HDR, which honestly, it's still relatively new. Not most people really care about that.
Mm-hmm.
A $300, $400, $500 4K TV will do you just fine.
And even then, you can still get like a $300, $500 TV with HDR10. Like you can still get
HDR10 is not HDR. That's the problem.
I know it's not true HDR, but it's still, you know, and HDR.
Not even that. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't. They'll sell you HDR. They'll say
no, but here's the thing. But that's what I'm saying, Keith. Quote unquote. I want to actually make that there. Don't sit down there and get it twisted. I'm just saying, quote unquote.
Well, okay, you say that, but when you hook it up to your Xbox says your TV doesn't support HDR, you're gonna be kind of pissed off.
I understand that. No, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said again, like I said, quote unquote, Keith, you're explaining something that I'm like, it's iffy.
It is iffy.
You know, so I mean, you want to get a true HDR, something like a Samsung, somewhere in the Samsung range, you're going to be spending upwards of $1,000.
Not even Samsung. You know, Samsung, LG, Vizio, Sony.
Still, like I said, upwards of $1,000.
You want a good one, upwards to $2,000, my friend.
Continue statement though. I'm sorry for interrupting you, my friend.
No, that was it. That was it. It's just, I think it'll contribute, but there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot more again informed people knowing what they're looking for this time around. So unless they got some really good bundles, I don't know.
Because I'm looking at right now. I'm looking. Sorry, go ahead.
Personally, I wouldn't buy standard 4K TV if I was buying the Xbox One X. If I already didn't have an HDR TV, I wouldn't do it.
Like, to be fair, like I'm looking at HDR TVs right now on Best Buy. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Best Buy is probably not Best Buy is not sponsoring this podcast, but it is a really good place to go buy things. So Best Buy for now at the very least. Best Buy. I'm looking at Best Buy. I'm looking at a 55-inch Samsung TV, smart TV, 4K HD with high dynamic range, $789. Do you know what the savings of it? $310. It was $1,099. It was $1,100.
Which TV is that?
The Samsung 7 Series 4K HDR.
That doesn't really tell me much.
It's a 55 class Samsung. It's a 55-inch class Samsung TV. I'm going to link it to you guys in Slack to look at it.
The trap.
Right there it is. There's the link. So that's the TV that I'm looking at. $789, right, for Ultra TV, just to get HDR and like just to make sure you get the actual HDR in there, because you know you're looking at that HDR. Most HDR TVs, if you go from low to high in Best Buy, you know, if you get a decent one, it's at the very least, I guess, if you want to go high sense, it's $469.
No.
But if you want to go Samsung and you go 40 inches, it's $547. Vizio 50 inches, $550 with high dynamic range.
But you're missing the all-star. You're missing the MVP of the entire thing.
LG, TCL.
TCL. Oh my God.
Sony.
TCL.
Yeah, TCL. Oh, TCL Roku TV high dynamic range, $600, 55 inches at Best Buy.
HDR.
Wow.
Wait, TCLs have true HDR?
Yes.
I'm in.
They support both HDR 10 and Dolby Vision.
Yeah, no, this TV actually has this TV I'm going to link it to you guys to take a look. It actually does support Dolby Vision.
I just said that.
No, this one that I just linked supports Dolby Vision.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, $600, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that is a TV that you get for your Xbox One. So, you know, there's that. At $600 at the very least for 55 inches, that's not bad for 4K.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the only one they sell right now in that series. They're going to have a smaller one and 65-inch later this year.
Which is not bad.
Look for that one. Look for that one on Black Friday. It's kind of sad that if you go to Best Buy, this TV is not on display.
I know,
It's
right?
not. Oh.
So, you know, like, any final thoughts on this 4K jump off here? Because this is a lot. It's loaded. For Microsoft selling 4K TVs, this is loaded.
I would say if you should link that, we should put that in the description for everybody because I do highly recommend that TCL TV. I've been doing a lot of research on it, and come Black Friday, I will have that one for downstairs.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the Xbox One X today is Tuesday, October the 10th. Xbox One X will be releasing in a month on the 7th of November. So you make sure you go get that. Make sure you go get that. There is no Project Scorpios available. I have one. Keith has one. You don't.
Nope.
And you can go and pre-order yourselves the original, just the plain old Xbox One X.
Just the plain old Xbox.
Just the plain old one, not the Project Scorpio one. We got the special.
What's the point even?
It just looks different.
It looks different.
I was gonna say, if you can't get a Scorpio, what's even the point? Just
I mean, the controller has like, you know, the controller has like Project Scorpio coming down the middle. So cool, so cool. That being said, you know, loot boxes, man, we back on this discussion all over again. And OpenCritic actually is doing something really, really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So OpenCritic is joining the fight against loot boxes by stating that what they want to do specifically is looking for ways to add business model information to OpenCritic. So what they want to do is basically say, hey, if you come to OpenCritic, you can see what they do in their games. Is it a loot box? Do they make you pay for things in the game with real money? We're gonna tell you, my friends.
Real money? Can I have some real monies? No.
They're gonna look to do that. Now, OpenCritic started a couple years ago as an alternative to Metacritic, with the belief that Metacritic was kind of shady. So OpenCritic, with their name Open in there, want to be more open to gamers and reviewers alike. We are officially a critic on OpenCritic as well, so if you want to advertise that, shouts out to OpenCritic, because OpenCritic has been really awesome.
Like somebody's plugging something here. I can't put my finger on it.
I mean, I think I am. OpenCritic has been really good to us, but I'm just gonna put it out there. But this has nothing to do with how I feel about OpenCritic. It has nothing to do with my objective view on this one, so I'm putting it out there. I think OpenCritic's onto something by basically alerting the gamers and the users of OpenCritic whether or not these games have loot boxes that are shady or not.
Real slim shady.
Indeed. So, Keith,
Quinn,
thoughts on OpenCritic doing OpenCritic things?
I said it earlier. I don't really know how much we're looking for, what their overall goal is with this, because again, they're just an aggregate site. So not really sure what the impact with them doing this is going to be. It seems like they're just trying to help police this stuff, and I applaud them for that. But are people really going to take that seriously? Or are people going to get annoyed with them trying to, quote unquote, overstep their boundary?
Right.
So I'm not really too sure how this is going to play out in the end.
Aaron?
I agree that it's difficult to see how it's going to play out, but I think I like it. I think it's a good move. I mean, we just had the whole debacle with Forza, wasn't it? Where they had they changed the entire VIP system or whatever that was that like wasn't disclosed very well. Like this, I guess, would help to make things like that a little more obvious. And I know they're just an aggregate site, but I mean, people do look at these aggregate sites. So yeah, if they're going to make stuff like that more obvious to the consumer, it's better for the consumer. And I could see that angering publishers, which you could argue is also good.
Who cares? Who cares if they get mad?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're the ones doing this stuff. So if they don't want this kind of thing to happen, this kind of response to happen, don't do this. Don't stop with the loot boxes. Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Right.
Clinton, what do you think? You didn't say anything.
I mean, I really have no opinion. I have no true opinion on it, largely because the way I see it is that loot boxes in the game is shady as fuck as it is.
I wouldn't say they're shady. I wouldn't say they're shady.
No, they're not inherently shady.
Lots of potential for shady.
There's a lot of potential for shady, and we've seen it. Like, look at Forza, look at NBA 2K. I mean, look at all these type of things. I mean, DLC has gotten to the point where it's like people are revolting against it. So loot boxes are a brand new way of saying, hey, let's, change the game up a little bit.
I don't agree with that statement.
You know, like let's change the game up and let's get the gamers trust by doing it cosmetic first, and then other companies are gonna be like, oh shit, we're gonna put stuff. Injustice being the example. I know you don't necessarily agree. I want to hear why.
Okay, because a good example is the whole Forza versus Overwatch. Okay, Forza you could use currency. Overwatch you can use currency, or you can use in-game currency. You're not being forced to do so. When you say DLC, loot boxes are just another form of DLC, you're basically stating that there's stuff in the game, stuff that's
I don't think I'm saying it's a new form of DLC.
But you just said that.
Let me rephrase that because I think I might have phrased that wrong. You're looking to go after that one. Let's phrase it a little different. I think it's more or less getting away from DLC while still keeping some of the principles of DLC, where the shit is locked behind a paywall. Like, again, Injustice with the option, like Carl brought the example last week, where with Injustice, we're looking at, oh, there's things locked behind the game. There's things locked behind the wall. And there's stuff locked behind the wall. And there's, you know, you have to play that for certain online modes. And then you have, you know, where the armor system is in full attack in competitive online mode and stuff like that, right? There's that, and that's kind of shady in its own right. Now, Overwatch does it where it's just simply cosmetic stuff, right?
Right.
I think that's a more innocent version of loot boxes. The way Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm does it is a little more innocent
but the thing
than like Injustice does.
The problem that we're having is I don't have an issue with the overall nature of loot boxes. I think that maybe the industry is using them more than they should. By the way, we didn't finish by 10 o'clock. I think the industry is using them more than they should, but we've had games for years who've used loot boxes in one shape or form, and it hasn't been a big deal. You know, look at Counter-Strike Go. You know, we've got rewards. Look at Team Fortress 2. We've got rewards. Countless games. But it's getting to the point now where when they're putting stuff behind a paywall, people are getting frustrated and throwing their hands up like, this is silly. Why are we doing this? Why are we paying for this? And I don't have a problem with that. If you want to go out and spend $50 on loot boxes, have at you. I mean, we know people that have done that. You know, again, Overwatch. You know, I want this skin. I'm going to pay money instead of going through normal channels to get this. Which is, you're not being twisted. You're not being forced to do so. So it's your money. You want to do that? Have at it. But when you lock stuff behind the paywall that there is no way in hell you can actually get it by playing a game, I have an issue with that.
Right. Now I've always have an issue. I definitely have an issue with that type of shit. Like that's scummy. That's scummy as fuck.
Yeah.
Aaron, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I agree with that too. And especially if you're locking it behind a loot box, like loot boxes by nature are supposed to be gambling, basically, right? It's not like straight DLC where you just purchase the thing that's locked behind it. It's like you're purchasing a chance to maybe get that thing. So I mean, yeah, that makes the entire thing very scummy.
I mean, yeah, Carl shared an image with us. I'll link it in the description. Is basically it was go back to 1999 where you have the original game is complete and you have the expansion packs. There's two expansion packs for $30 each. Okay, cool. So then you go, we have an expansion pack for like $40 in 2005, and then the DLC is like this, and this, and whatever the price is. And now we have our original game, which is somewhat complete, and then the chance of getting the content is like a certain amount of money a try or a certain amount of currency a try.
Yeah.
Which is still kind of like problematic, can be problematic.
I agree. Yeah, loot boxes, they're innocent and they're guilty at the same time. I mean, one can even argue that playing a game like Forza or Gran Turismo, when you do a certain amount of stuff, you win a car. This is your new prize. Okay, great. It's loot. This is what I earned. Fantastic. This debate can go on for days. And the problem is I don't see this going away anytime soon. As long as producers or publishers and developers see this as a quick cash grab or way to entice gamers to pay for money or pay money to get stuff, it's never going to go away. And for every 1,000 people that are against this, there are 10,000 that don't have a problem with it.
Yep. As long as it keeps making money, they're going to keep doing it.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. You see, the vocal minority is vocal, but they're not vocal enough. You see, the majority accepts this bullshit and just buys into it and keeps saying, "Oh," in their mind, it's like, "Oh, we're supporting the developer, so fuck it," right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the same time, the vocal minority are like, "Whoa, we want to support the developer, but y'all doing too damn much."
And then it also weighs in again on the developer and the publisher. You know, a good example again is, even though I don't excuse them, Turn 10 and Microsoft, because what they did with the VIP system should have never happened in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But they listened. They were like, all right, we realized we screwed up. We're sorry. Here. Okay, great. Don't do it again. But you got other companies.
They just see what they can get away with, and like it's terrible.
You know, and that's the perfect example. You're like, well, we did this, and they push back. Can we do this and see if they don't push back as much? You know, what are they willing to accept?
It's like Bethesda and their paid mods.
Which is fine. See,
we'll put it out there once. Oh, people didn't like it. We'll put it out later.
Here's the thing. What I like about what Turn 10 is doing is actually really intelligent. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we messed up. And they knew they messed up. Now let's see if we can tweak it a little bit down the line. I wouldn't be surprised if Forza Horizon 4, if that ever comes out.
Now, people are saying that. Now, here's the problem. Let's link this to another article real quick, where the sales of Forza 7 are down.
Well, because people, again, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of the fans of the game are, you know, like, oh, burn me once, you're not getting another chance to burn me again. Exactly. I mean, my biggest issue with that is that, first of all, you can't just give it one strike and that's it. I mean, if we follow the baseball analogy or freaking LA crime, it's like literally 3 strikes and you're out. You got to give them chances to fuck up. You know, they fucked up, they fixed their choices. You got to kind of be forgiving in that. And a lot of people aren't nowadays. It's because it's like, well, it's my hard-earned money. I get that it's your hard-earned money, and I understand that. But if they're making an effort, to actually make it better, like, give them a freaking chance.
I don't know if that's better.
Well, basically going back and saying, you know, it's going back to what it used to be, and we're giving you more shit. Like,
that's an apology. That's an apology.
It's still an apology. They're doing something. They're acknowledging that they messed up and they're apologizing. That's the thing.
But then the argument could be just as simple. You should never did it in the first place.
You know what? I'm sorry. Like, yo, hindsight is 20/20. Hindsight is 20/20. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I'm sorry, Clinton. I disagree. There's no way you're going to tell me that you thought that taking away something that was beneficial was a good idea.
I'm not saying it was. I'm definitely not saying it was. I don't know who okayed that shit. But, dude, I'm taking it from the aspect where, Keith, yeah, you have kids. And you have kids. I work with kids.
Unfortunately.
You have kids. I work with kids. I get it more than most people. You get it more than most people. Yo, we can penalize somebody. We can penalize somebody forever and make them feel miserable. Or we can sit there and say, yo, we're going to give you another chance. Try not to do it again. And that's just how I see it. That's how I see it. Now, granted, if this was a repeated practice by Turn 10, I would be the first online to say, yo, stop giving them your money. Boycott the company. Stop buying this game.
You also got to keep in mind, it's also, and I hate to say this, it's also, I don't want to say fan favoritism, but look at the company. We've seen this happen for quite some time. If Microsoft makes one little issue, one mistake, it's the end of the world.
That's the problem. You know why? Do you know why? Do you know why that is? Because I'm sorry, even in America, we got some kind of fucking fetish with Japanese shit. Like, come on. Like, you can forgive Sony for fucking up horrendously in 2011, but if Microsoft makes one slip up, man, kiss my ass. Like, nah, I'm not hearing that. You're
not with the shits, I guess.
I'm not with the shits. No. Stop kissing Japan's ass because Japan don't even like y'all niggas. Like, let's talk shit.
Oh, God.
Like, let's talk it. Like, let's spit the real. I'm sorry. Japan don't like y'all.
Dollar.
They don't give a fuck. Japan don't give a shit about none of y'all.
Japan loves
Why you think it's so goddamn hard? Why you think it's so goddamn hard to get a damn RPG on the goddamn Xbox One? But yo, let's put the real line. Nah, Sony and Nintendo can do no wrong. Mostly Sony. Nintendo fucked up because Nintendo doesn't understand gamers, right? In America,
I can't co-sign on that point. I'm sorry.
But Sony can do no wrong, right?
I can't co-sign on that. I can't. Not on that point.
Why? Go ahead.
Because there's a shit ton of Japanese RPGs on the PC. That's why.
But that's the PC, man.
PC is still considered American.
PC.
Microsoft.
Keep in mind,
Intel,
Japan had a lot. Keep in mind,
AMD.
Microsoft. But hold on. But here's the thing. PC in Japan is out of necessity. It's out of necessity on that shit, right? At the same time, remember, this shit like the FM Towns and the Apple Pippin, all that type of shit that came out in Japan. The Sega computers, the SGs and shit like that.
The Commodores. Yeah.
All of that shit came. Well, the Sega ones and the FM Towns was Japan. The Commodore was American.
Apple was American.
And Apple was actually at work with Bandai, so it was a collaboration. It was Japan. It was Japanese.
Magnavox. Ton of them.
Magnavox is Japan too, and Philips and all that shit is Japan.
Television, all of them. No, you can't really consider the
go back then, but I'm talking about
the parent company is Apple.
But it's still Apple Bandai that did that. So that's what I'm saying. It's the collaboration between America and Japan. You know what I'm saying?
But going back to the PC format,
but going back to the PC format,
that's still considered an American product still.
I don't know. Remember, a lot of parts can be made. A lot of companies. There's a lot of Japanese PC makers as well.
We'll go back to this. Since we're being specific, without Steam, there is no that, and Steam is an American company. Valve is an American company.
Right. But you see, remember, Steam is just legitimately a
catalog that houses everything and indexes everything, and enables the sales.
Right. You're still giving money, and I agree with that. No, I agree with that. But what I'm personally trying to say is, in terms of the home console space, we can talk about the PC all we want. The PC is a different animal. When we talk about the home console space,
it's funny. I just think it's funny that the PC gets more Japanese role playing games than the Xbox.
I agree with that, and that doesn't make sense. Like, how could you hate an American? How could you dislike American products, but you're basically using something by an American company? Oh, and if you have an Apple computer, it's an American company. If you have a Samsung phone, it's a damn Korean company. Like,
if you're using a PC in Japan right now, you're more likely on Windows.
And if you have an Apple iPhone in Japan,
and if you have a Microsoft phone in Japan, oh wait, no, you probably
no. All I'm saying is this. My biggest, again, everything tech is made over there, either Japanese, China, or Korea. Some in Taiwan back when they were owned by the UK. But all I'm saying is, that's Hong Kong. Never mind. Excuse me.
I'm gonna have to ask you to get your point so we can close this show.
My point is, look, y'all sitting down there talking all this shit. Y'all have, like, most gamers have a fetish for Japanese shit. I don't know why. My biggest issue is they don't care about you, because if you have an Xbox and you love JRPGs, you're pretty much either forced to get a PlayStation 4 or a damn PC. In a sense. So you're forced to spend more money to get what you want, or just not get the Xbox, even though you've been a loyal supporter of the Microsoft brand. And why is that? Because Japanese developers can only really see in terms of Japan. They can't necessarily see in terms of the United States.
I think that's anywhere else. I think that's an interesting topic. That's something we should look at next week's podcast, because I think there's a lot more at stake here. And I'm not going to say it's because Japanese don't care about, the American.
There is a xenophobia on both sides.
There is that. But I think this also stems from, early days of the Xbox and the Xbox 360, when it was, we're going to focus on the shooter aspect, the sports game aspect, and we don't really care about those. And then it flips the switch, and it's like, our gamers want these games down and they can't get them. And we should think about that next time.
That's probably the crux of next week's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Japanese versus America. Is it xenophobia or not? That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the podcast. Obviously, we got some friends wanting to play PUBG, and I got to go watch American Horror Story Cult on FX. End this podcast with a little bit of plugs, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go check out all the rest of the podcasts here on the Outerhaven, Sony-centric A1 Podcast, Nintendo Entertainment Podcast, Sending the Clowns, as well as the Warren Infinite Panels and the I said the A1 Podcast, Warren Infinite Panels and
the A1 Steak Sauce.
Yes, A1 Steak Sauce and Reaction Theater. Obviously, for those of you that don't know what Sending the Clowns is, that is a recap show of American Horror Story Cult. Obviously, Sony-centric is the Sony-centered podcast. A1 is anime, Warren Infinite Panels is comics, Reaction Theater is whatever comes to Julius's mind to react to. And obviously the Nintendo Entertainment Podcast is our, local Nintendo, fan service episode.
You said fan service, really?
Yes, I said fan service. I'm just gonna find new ways to describe the Nintendo Entertainment Podcast every week. I'm just gonna do it. It's entertaining. It really is. That being said, my friends, Keith, final thoughts before we get the hell up out of here.
Is it the 13th yet?
You know, let's see. Evil Within hasn't come out. WWE 2K18
Unless
hasn't come out.
unless you're on Bethesda's, I love you long time list, and
Then again, also, Happy Death Day hasn't come out yet either. So that's the thing.
What?
The movie Happy Death Day.
I still don't know what the hell that is. I don't want to know what that is. I don't want to know.
I mean, you never want to know, you nerd. Aaron, final thoughts.
Is it October 27th yet? Or the 24th? Destiny 2 is coming out for the PC.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Got a lot to do this month.
Mario will be out on my vacation.
Yep.
I'll be honest with
good
you.
Timing.
Well, I'm looking forward to the 24th, the 13th, the 24th, and the 27th. There's another date that I'm looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking extremely forward to November the 17th. PAX Unplugged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. PAX Unplugged.
Nice. All right, I believe you're going to play PUBG. Goodbye, guys.
All right, my friends. We'll see you next week, episode 36 of the Xbox Xperience.
PUBG.